But
never trust Hutch, for real. Something as significant others and family members have probably learned long ago. I can't believe you're attempting to talk in a persuasive way. That's so insane that you're doing that. Wow. Okay, Hutch. The sweeping is crazy. The sweeping is next level. So I've been compared to Travis Bickle and Kanye West so far in this segment. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what are you even talking about.
He said he's Jewish? Oh man. Okay. Well, now this
Back
is
to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. Let's see Hutch's some of Hutch's reaction to this. I don't know how much we'll get through this, to be honest. If he's just like, barely responding, it's gonna be painful.
We're all under attack. He's tilted. Oh yeah, 100%.
Dude, where's that read coming from?
They're all tilted. All of them. They're all tilted. They're turning on each other. We got.
Okay, well, that's just untrue.
Irrational Chud or Chud Logic, whatever the fuck his name is. He's turning on them, and then they're turning on him, and then they're all acting a bit paranoid, and it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Nobody's paranoid, or at least I'm not paranoid because I haven't done anything. And it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. Let me just think how I'm gonna say this. I'm a very abrasive person. Okay, I understand not liking me. I understand having it out for me. In fact, I totally get that. Okay, what I did hope, is that there were some people that were discerning enough, and there are. In fairness, I'll give one shout out, specific shout out. Styro No One. This guy f***ing hates me. He's an RFC guy, but I see him standing on.
Did you see Tactical Templar's tweet that he tagged you in about Nicandros? No, I did not look at my mentions this weekend.
Check the Tactical Templar tweet. Hutch, quick,
I was remarkably offline this weekend.
Oh, we all believe you, bro.
It was nice. I only spent like 30 minutes being online this weekend.
What he obviously should believe. What I would assume he believes. Total random shit, just a random shout. Just to cite one person that I saw being quite discerning about this stuff. But yeah, you don't see it from a lot of content creators, to be honest. You really don't. So I don't know how I want to really go about explaining this, because it's something I want to try and convey, but it's tricky. It's tricky, man. There are some base level principles in this kind of content creation, in this sort of, I don't want to say sector, because that is a specific thing, but this area of the internet.
Okay, hit me with them.
The idea that when you participate online as part of a community, you are responsible for your actions. You are not responsible for the actions of everyone around you, or if you post on a subreddit, you're not responsible for every discrete instance of harassment.
Mind you, this is the same guy who he and his community have been trying to hit me with a guilt by association Destiny thing for.
Is this guy some kind of? No, you said that you were cutting Destiny off because of a hard moral line that you drew in the sand. Then you lied and said there were new details that made that a bit more of a grey area. Then you lied about that and said you never said it, refused to ever explain any of it, and then you attempted to emotionally manipulate me into not calling you a Destiny Orbiter again. That's not guilt by association. That's you being called out for repeated dishonesty and not having any moral standards.
A year and a half straight, even though I don't co-sign everything Destiny does, and I'm not even.
Can someone send me his initial disavowal? Someone send me the initial disavowal, please. We'll go over it again.
And especially close with Destiny, and I never have been.
And the clip where he said it's a grey area. Is Tony listening? Tony will have this shit. Tony, if you're listening, type in chat. Tony is, #1 Hutch snarker. Is Kathy dead? No. Kathy is just banned from my community because of the Loner Box stuff. Maybe one day we can talk about it, but, at the moment, it's just too fucking annoying. It's literally that is one of, there's a few things that will piss me off enough to actually, do something about something that happened off platform. And one of those is if I'm trying to talk to someone and you do insane shit like reporting. Now, as I understand, Kathy said it was a joke or some shit. It was an @Team YouTube under a video of Loner Box telling his son to kill himself in a video game. But that's just don't even fuck around with that, because no one wants to talk to someone that's going to fucking report them as part of the conversation. Do you know what I mean? You're kneecapping me when you do that.
but they have been trying to guilt by association me for like death.
But I wouldn't, like usually I keep the same policy as most other people, which is I'm not moderating off-platform behavior because you simply cannot. The moment you accept off-platform behavior as part of your rules, you're expected to get involved in like investigating people's DMs, going around to different servers and collecting evidence. Like no one has the fucking time for that. I can't pay a fucking mod team to filter through that. It's just not, it's not plausible.
Destiny stuff forever. Like I'll post something on the internet and like sometimes half the replies will be these little fucking twerps posting something that Destiny said like a week before. You're like, oh yeah, what about this? It was like, what the fuck do I have to do with that? I have nothing to do with that. And now he's singing a different tune, I suppose.
Yeah, dude, I saw a bit of that earlier. I literally tuned in to Destiny for like 2 minutes earlier, and I hear him try and like say, can I finally move on from this? Can I finally move on from this? And then he just immediately goes back to crying about shit at drama channels again. Like, dude, you are so tilted. You are so pissed off.
You're only responsible for
I
your
saw
own
him tilted
behavior.
much. Especially illegal harassment that happens as a result of the general air of negativity towards a person. Great example of this. Some of you may remember back in the Keffals drama, Stardust had a big fight with Keffals that resulted in Keffals screaming obscenities at Stardust.
Don't remember this.
Because Stardust stood by Flamenco. For those who don't know, Flamenco obviously would fuck around with doxes. He threatened to send letters to Xanderhall's mother, and he would post on Kiwi Farms very frequently. Very big KF poster. And Stardust defended him firmly. And honestly, that's one of the few times where I've thought Stardust won a debate. I thought Stardust did well there. That was one of the few times ever where she stood firmly on the idea that Flamenco isn't responsible for your swatting. It's not just group harassment because he's on the forum. But that's totally been abandoned. That has totally been abandoned by these people. And that is a rebuttal? Surely Hutch is going to refute that, right? Seems like quite a damning point for your friend Stardust, Hutch. Core principle that allows not just KF to operate and people there to be able...
Let him cook a little bit. He's working his way up to it. But he ties it all to Israel in the next like 10 minutes.
It is all tied to Israel. It is all tied to Israel. It is. That's your motivation. That is your motivation here. Because you recognize that you're in an unfortunate position where you have spent the last 2 years saying shit like, bombing a hospital isn't a war crime. And you get mocked like fucking crazy for it. You get a ton of shit for it. It gets under your skin like crazy. You recognize it's a dead-end position to be in. And so you use any tactic possible to crush people who are effectively calling you out for stuff like that. Because you've hitched your wagon to Destiny, you've hitched your wagon to Israel, you've hitched your wagon to Ethan Klein. And so you have to remain firm in that position. You can't denounce all that stuff because your audience relies on Destiny. So you have to maintain that, and you want to smother out this effective cutting ecosystem that's getting on your skin. You are literally motivated. Your position on Israel motivates a significant part of this. And there's literally no way to deny that. Literally no way to deny that.
Apparently, the walls are closing in and the logs are leaking because Israel. I'm not kidding. Not a joke.
Able to talk their shit, but allows DGG to operate. It allows Leftovers H3 to operate. It allows H3 Productions to operate. Because
Shriavora with the 77 months, Ogre Boy wears a shock collar when he masturbates. Only gets a shock on climax. Ew.
There are always negative, illegal, harassing behaviors that occur as a result of significant negative attention online, but not each individual engaging with the negativity is responsible for each discrete act of harassment. You are responsible for harassment that you do, which hopefully you don't do.
Come the fuck on. That's his whole brand.
Oh yeah, who do I harass? Who have I harassed? Does I make videos about you, laughing at you? Who do I harass? Please, citation. I'd love to hear it.
That's his whole, that's like him and his audience, their whole brand is just like harassing people. What is this?
Yeah, being mean online equals harassment. Thank you, Hutch. So I really do feel like with a lot of the lawsuit and doxing stuff that's going on here, I would hope there are a lot more people that are willing to sort of
harass
put differences aside, you know? This isn't really a matter of whether someone says slurs or whether someone's right wing, or whether someone's a communist, whether someone's a tanky in ML. Ooh, have we got it? Have we got it? Yes, here we are. Wait, we need to go to the other side.
I think looking back, I wish I would have just put that space and just not talked.
Hutchinson is trying to rewrite history and lie about him rebuilding the Destiny Bridge. The original Food Shops clip, he does talk about recovery, but also says of the Pixie case, some things have come out and made me look at it in a different light. Okay, let's see.
I think looking back, I wish I would have just put that space and just not talked about it. So that's what that clip was. That's all that was. And Ogre Boy is in their minds, this is evidence that I was teeing up, like rebuilding the bridge. This is their evidence for that. That I was angling to try to get back in Destiny's orbit, which I would not accept that framing at all. Even if there are certain things that came out during the trial that got me to look at things a little bit differently, there's still enough public information that led me to feel uncomfortable with and disapproving of like the things that Destiny did. Like besides all this other like new information that maybe changes one thing over here, but whatever. Like this clip is not me saying like, oh my God, I regret throwing him under the bus and I wish I could go back in his orbit. This clip was just simply like, I wish I wouldn't have dived into the particular details. That's all that was. And then he posted another clip. They keep posting this clip, you guys, and it's such a fucking nothing burger.
You ready for an actual spicy question?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Would you be willing to rebuild the Bridge of Destiny?
I try not to take really absolutist positions on anything, except for Aquaman. I think, I think the short answer to that would be yeah, but like, it really just depends on a lot of things. Like, I want to see more information come out during this trial. I've had people privately reach out and relay. The clip cuts off at just like the worst time, but I go into more detail. And the context was like, you guys know I'm addict in recovery, right? Like most people know that about me. I have at various times in my adult life struggled with moderation and substance abuse. When I drink and when I do drugs, I just want to keep drinking and keep doing drugs. That's what it is to be an addict, right? And so then I found the rooms of recovery, and in those rooms, you hear people talk about very dark things. In an NA meeting, you might hear someone talk about some horrible thing that they did to someone else.
He's not crawling back to Destiny for a financial incentive. It's because of fucking altruistic feeling about fucking recovery or some stupid shit, man.
They might have abused someone. They might have like punched their spouse at some point. They might have stolen from their parents. Like you hear all kinds of stories, and then in those rooms, like you learn, I think, a bit of humility and you learn a bit of grace. So if someone gets on a better path,
I think that hello everyone guy has to be trolling. Do you guys hate food shops for being trans, or are you just purely homophobic? I think that must be a troll message. There's no way that's not a joke, because it's simultaneously chastising you for being transphobic or bigoted while being transphobic subtly. So there's literally no way that's not trolling.
Path. If someone can make horrible mistakes, and then if they get on a better path, they can find redemption and actually try to be a better person, which is something that I thought that leftists care about that. Like I thought that leftists believe in rehabilitative justice. I thought that leftists believe that people don't need to be defined by the mistakes that they make in life. Isn't that like a core tenet of leftism? Aren't you supposed to believe that people can be redeemed, that they don't need to be defined by the worst thing they ever did? Right?
Dude.
That's what that clip was. And
right.
In the longer version of that clip, I talk about my experience knowing people that have admitted to doing horrible things, but are good people that I am glad to call friends. Like I'm friends with dozens of people that have done horrible things in their addiction. And so... No,
this is a clip, Max. This is an old clip.
Longer version of that clip, I think I allude to, it really depends on a lot of things.
We're just going over his lies about the Destiny stuff.
It's like, if somebody makes a horrible mistake, but then they take responsibility for their actions, then I'm not going to permanently close a bridge on anyone. I mean that like almost literally. Like If Hassan woke up one day and decided that he felt like he was a destructive force in politics, and he started to do like an honest appraisal of himself and came
So has Destiny done that? So wait, where did you see that from Destiny? So wait, Hutch, when did you see Destiny do that?
conclusion that he wants to be a glorious lib, I would fucking open a bridge to that person. That's all that meant. But these fucking sycophantic parasocial psychos heard me answer that question in that way, and they're like, oh my god, bro, he's like angling for a new space in Destiny's orbit. And it's like, dude,
yes,
generally
and that's what happened, by the way. He did just drift back into orbit.
speaking, I find Destiny to be pretty radioactive a lot of the times, especially given the recent stuff with like the Willie Mac stuff. That's a whole other topic.
So that's our first clip here. Thank you for the $10, Banetta 9, with the cheerleader character jumping up in the air. Thank you. Huge appreciated. So let's see the original clip, guys. What did he actually say?
I'm in recovery. I go to like NA meetings and stuff. And so I know a lot of people that have made a lot of mistakes and then got on a better path. And you know, and these people are like close friends of mine, and they've made some like really awful mistakes. So like, even when people do like really bad things, you know, I put distance there because we were never really close like that. And it was just kind of like a reputational hit to be associated with any of that radioactive stuff. And so I don't regret that, but I think maybe I regret in retrospect, like talking about the particulars. But you know, I don't really think about that too much.
That was what I was actually going to ask you about next, was because someone in my chat basically mentioned that you said you regretted how you handled the Destiny commentary or how you handled the Destiny situation at the time. Have you ever said that before? Can you confirm?
Yeah, I think I might have said it today or yesterday. But like, I was careful because I didn't want to turn it into like a content farm. But I just got asked the question so much because we had collaborated during the 2024 campaign, and so I was just getting people in my chat every day like asking about the situation, and so there was no way that I couldn't like comment on it. But I think like, yeah, in retrospect, it might have been better to just plainly say like, I'm gonna put distance there, and I'm just gonna wait to see like how this plays out, and that's a completely defensible thing. But what I did was I started to, you know, some of the early information that started coming out was pretty damning on its face, like very on its face, and so
the case has changed so much
to like comment on that. But you know, there have been some things that have come out. I don't pay a lot of attention to what's going on with the Pixie stuff, but people link me because they still think that I'm associated with him. And so I've looked at some of the you know, the transcripts or whatever. I've looked at some of the how the court cases played out, and it's made me look at some of the stuff in a different light.
So that's just like a total lie, by the way. He's definitely just watched Destiny's coverage. That's literally it. Then we've got his original statement, guys. So I think if we go to 24:14, we'll get that.
Crossman says, all right, listening to this reaction, I'm going to unsubscribe. The situation being treated like it's that big of a deal is simply ridiculous. It's unfortunate that it happened. It's not that serious. I just want to frame something to you. Okay. I'm going to assume that you're a human being that's capable of empathy. I'm going to assume that you're a human being that is capable of imagining what something would feel like and just proceed from there. And I want you to imagine you wake up one day and there are nude images of you on the internet, and you know you're never going to be able to take them down. And you had aspired to serve in a somewhat public role within the framework of like political engagement as a career. And on top of being humiliated.
Yeah, the video being sent before the Cardi date really changed my moral position. So it totally changes everything. Oh, really? The statute hadn't come into effect yet? Oh, well, that changes everything.
Aspired to serve in a somewhat public role within the framework of like political engagement as a career. And on top of being humiliated by having your images out there on the internet for anyone to see, now you have to consider dozens of other ways that this could potentially impact your life. You have to live with the stress that some crazy internet person, and there's no shortage of crazy people on the internet, you have to live with the concern that some crazy person on the internet is going to send your nude photos to your friends, to your family, to your parents, to your siblings, to your employers, to your future employers. And so as a result of a decision that somebody else made without your consent, that you were not a party to. You have to now adjust to that moment psychologically and have the fortitude to go through an experience like that and still live a functioning life, which when I ask myself that, I don't know if I could do it. If I was humiliated like that, I don't know if you guys would ever see me again, ever on the internet. And then I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do for I would just have to disappear. I would just have to my whole life would have to change. So I think to minimize this situation and say it's not that big of a deal, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that I don't think you've really thought this through. I don't think you've really fully considered how much that would impact someone's internal life, their emotional state, their mental state, which is bad enough. But I don't think you probably evaluate how much it would impact someone's external life for the rest of their life. Something like this, people kill themselves for stuff like this. Now, Destiny didn't do it maliciously, right? But that doesn't matter because of his reckless, wildly irresponsible, wildly impulsive, self-serving behavior. As a consequence of that, somebody else's, and now potentially multiple people's lives are now possibly forever changed. And so I'm just saying, to me, that is a big deal. So I would encourage you, if you're still in chat, I don't know if you pieced out already, just think about it. Just think about it. Just imagine, how would your life change?
I gave him credit for this when it happened. That's the worst part. I gave him credit for this.
Just imagine that. I think if you think about it long enough, I think you'll start to understand that this is a big deal. And that what Destiny did was a profound violation of somebody else's privacy. And it had serious consequences.
The only thing is that
never trust Hutch, for real. Something his significant others and family members have probably learned long ago. Principles that allow.
This should be something that unites us all, because Israel is cracking down on free speech. They're coming after all of us. It may be me today, but you tomorrow.
So are these people fucking retarded? Where did I say Israel is coming after our speech? No, I said Destiny, Dan, and Ethan Klein are willing to use the tools at their disposal through connections to big pro-Israel organizations like the ADL in order to enforce their will. It's not that Israel are coming and doing it. It's that Dan is willing to communicate with people at the ADL, Richie Torres, all these, try and get things taken up to the highest levels to try to fuck with people's speech. Meanwhile, Ethan is attempting to abuse the legal system to do the same. And Destiny attempts to engage in insane TOS breaking harassment to do the same.
Tomorrow. So you should stick up for me.
How this type of content to continue should matter to all of us. They should matter to all of us. And a key point to this is that when you're going against that, you don't win by betraying what you're fighting for. You know, you do not win by adopting the tactics of the enemy. You know?
What the fuck? Oh my god!
Wow! Don't tell people.
In his mind,
I can't believe you're telling people not to dox. Okay.
He's on He's deep in the trenches in World War I, he's just out here every day fighting the good fight.
No, we're on the internet. No. You see people say this sort of stuff a lot of the time. People wanting to take things further. They see someone do something. I don't think he offered a single substantial rebuttal for this entire video. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me remotely, but I guess we'll see. Dude, never talk in an expressive way. I can't believe you're talking in an expressive way to try and be persuasive and energizing. I can't believe you're attempting to talk in a persuasive way. That's so insane that you're doing that. Wow. Okay, Hutch. Again, what does this read as, other than just them feeling threatened and wanting to poison the well and make it seem like, basically make it toxic or impossible to do things that are effective? That's the goal. It's blatantly the goal. Anyone that doesn't see that is a fucking retard. Absolutely insane, horrible, and they want to take things further. They want to retaliate. But you literally can't. You literally can't. You have to maintain the high ground every time. You cannot allow yourself to just become whatever it is you've got a problem with. You can't start filing lawsuits because, oh, well, fuck them. You can't start doxing because, oh, well, fuck them, they did it. You can't start lying because, oh, well, fuck them, they do it. Dan's doing it all the time. You can't just start doing that. But you do need to hold firm. And you do need to be aggressive, okay? You do need to hold firm, and you do need to be aggressive, and you need to stand confidently. You can't, this bitchy, almost, I don't want to call it infighting, because there isn't this broad group, but The idea, for instance, here, I'll give you an example. I will frequently see, I'll use myself as an example. I will frequently see, say something gets posted of me, there will be a comment from someone who will agree with me on the core issue being discussed, and it's a very important issue, and it should be an important issue to them. But you may see a comment say, oh, well, why are you supporting this guy? He says the N-word on Kick. I don't at this point anyway. I don't do that. But you know what I mean. They'll say something like that. And that's got to stop, I think. I'm not saying that about me, that you've got to stop saying things about me. I'm saying, broadly,
yes, you are.
About this stuff.
You are saying that. What do you mean?
Some of these internal differences. An example of someone else, Bungie, recognizing some of the existential issues that are being presented to this space right now.
He's like, this isn't about me. I'm not talking about me. Well, why did you invoke a specific example involving you?
He's taking stands on the right side of that. I don't care if he supports Restore. I don't care if he thinks, you know, black people are disproportionately low IQ, whatever the fuck Bungie thinks. I actually don't know what Bungie thinks. Whatever he thinks. I don't care in the context of this, right? There may be another time where he's expressing that, where it's worth me fighting with that. But when there is a concerted effort to fracture and smother an effective ecosystem.
They are feeling it, boys and girls. They are feeling the heat, you guys.
That's a problem. That's a real big problem, and that should be really kind of, you know, firmly opposed by everyone.
Yeah, define effective. What do we mean by that? Yeah.
In a firm line. So stop saying Bungie's a restore. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. Sorry guys, I stepped away for 2 seconds. Can't imagine Hutch said anything of value though, so we'll call it a wash on the copyright infringement. Where was I? So yeah, but Bungie recognizes that, I think. Where was I? You throw me off. I've got where I got up to. Someone remind me where I was.
Relatable. I understand.
Oh yeah, smother and fracture an effective ecosystem. That was it. That's where I was up to. Yeah, it should be firmly opposed. And you have to consider as well sort of the context this is happening in, right? And why it's being portrayed the way it is.
Okay. Break it
Destiny
down.
has spun up this narrative that this server has existed for 2 years. Why is he saying it's existed for 2 years when it's actually existed for 10 months?
I think it was literally just like a simple little accident. Like a simple
Dude. The sweeping is crazy. The sweeping is next level.
little mistake. Like I don't think it's that deep.
Well, just think about that time scale. What would that encompass? What would that encompass? It would encompass his allegations, everything leading up to Guys, Destiny just accidentally made a tiny, teeny little mistake of, 14, I think actually 60. I think it's actually only 8 months old. I think I was going off of like British date format like a retard. He made a tiny mistake of like 16 months that perfectly plays into his broader narrative that he's trying to use to vindicate himself. Guys, it's a tiny little mistake of 16 months. And it just perfectly benefits him in a totally logical way. By happenstance. It's just like, it just happened out that way. Just the mistake just benefited him, I guess. And everything he did in response, right? So
I don't even know what he's alleging here.
So it is a retroactive. What do you mean? What I'm alleging? Hutch, Destiny shared sexual videos, images, and recordings without the consent of the other party involved, and then started doxing people, calling them out for it, and then started spinning up a narrative about how actually everyone had been working behind the scenes the whole time to make this happen and to manufacture everything, and they'd been doxing him the whole time, even though they hadn't, as justification for his actions. I'm not really alleging anything so much as just recounting facts that are publicly verifiable. Justification and attempted vindication narrative to make it seem as though the only reason anyone ever even cared about the fact he was sharing nudes without consent is because
I think it was literally just like a meaningless mistake. It was like, 10 months.
I thought he was about to say that about the sharing nudes. I was about to go fucking crazy. Jesus, okay.
Instead of a couple years or something. I don't think it meant anything.
Other people were spinning it up in the background. But we know that's untrue, don't we, guys? Guys, it's a meaningless mistake that perfectly plays into his narrative, guys. We know that's untrue. Because not only does the timeline make no sense, but Destiny himself, in this Bob 7 manifesto. So, guys, Hutch says it was a tiny little mistake. What's Destiny's explanation? Destiny has spun up this narrative that this server has existed for 2 years. Why is he saying it's existed for 2 years when it's actually existed for 10 months? Well, just think about that timescale. what would that encompass? What would that encompass? It would encompass his allegations, everything leading up to them, and everything he did in response, right? So it is a retroactive justification, an attempted vindication narrative to make it seem as though the only reason anyone ever even cared about the fact he was sharing nudes without consent is because other people were spinning it up in the background. But we know that's untrue, don't we, guys? We know that's untrue. Because not only does the timeline make no sense, but Destiny himself, in his Bob 7 manifesto, destroyed Bob 7 for doing exactly that, for sharing a nude of Melina with Bose on a screen share in Discord.
So 2 things here. So it's really funny because 1, he just completely destroyed his own theory where he said that the timeline doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. So why would I make that up? If I was going to fabricate a timeline, then why would I make that up?
Because your audience just believe anything and you just say shit without showing proof. So you never get contradicted by the evidence. Are you some kind of fucking retard? Well, obviously not. You're not a total retard because you're thinking enough to lie here. Well, I feel like the response is obvious.
People that lie can't keep track of anything. So I'll tell you why I said 2 years if you really want to know. Here's the actual reality of the thing. Okay. And I love that this works, and I love that you guys were so fucking manic and schizo posting and scattering and running about to your little corners and to figure out. When I'm confronting people on things, I will keep the confrontation for the thing that I want incredibly precise, and I will fudge or just fuck up the details on stuff that's not relevant because you hyperfixate on the non-relevant things to try to figure out how much information you think I have. That's why I said 2 years.
No, we just knew 2 years was wrong immediately. Everyone just knew that was a lie immediately. No, that doesn't change. Everyone just knew that was a lie. We just point out that it's a lie. That does nothing to help you.
Because when I say 2 years, now, and this is exactly what happened in every single server these guys were in, the whole conversation changed to, oh shit, Destiny's making this up. Destiny hasn't seen anything. The server's not even 2 years old. I think he's just lying about all of it. I think he's made up everything. And that's exactly what you fucking retards did. So if I fudge a detail or something, who knows? Maybe I actually don't know anything. Maybe I'm making it all up. Or I'm just like fudging a detail because I know it's not really relevant to anything, and I know that you guys will hyperfixate on the fudge details to try to figure out what you think I do know so that you can figure out what you can own to publicly or not, which is exactly what you all did, by the way. That's why Chud hedged every answer. That's why you guys on Twitter walked back that Shamu thing until it was completely and totally indefensible and it fell off a cliff.
Chud hedged answers because you were presenting him incomplete information and he was trying to make a judgment. That's why Chud was hedging, like you should when you have incomplete information. Are you some kind of fucking retard?
And then finally you cut ties. But yeah, I mean, it's not even like that hard to do. I just like say random shit and then you guys freak the fuck out, and I'll just stay precise on the accusation because that's the only thing that really matters. And if you
but you're not precise on the accusation. You know you're not precise on the accusation. You literally cannot argue the details of any accusation. You want to zoom out to macro narratives where you can't substantiate any of the individual points. That's just a lie.
you think I'm making anything up, I don't know, call it out. If you think that Snark left server is not a big deal, or whatever he just linked, and you think that I'm lying about everything, oh.
You know, hello everyone. I wish I could just handle everything, to be honest. Sadly, I'm not. You know, I can't be in 500 places at once. It's really the kind of biggest problem in my life is that everyone isn't just exactly like me, thinking like me at all times. Things would work a lot better. Okay.
Publish the server logs. If you're saying it's basically public, there's no big streamers in there, nothing bad happens, and I'm lying about everything, and it's not even 2 years old, well, just publish the server logs. No?
I don't care if someone publishes the server logs. I'm clean. I literally don't give a fuck. Go for it. I don't have the logs. I don't have the complete logs with all the deleted messages. So there's no point me doing it because it would be incomplete and you could play with the grey area. Okay, back to this. Destroyed Bob 7 for doing exactly that, for sharing a nude of Melina with Bose on a screen share in Discord. And in that manifesto, Destiny had admitted to doing the same behavior himself in the past and having issues with Melina over it. So we know it's total bullshit to pretend that this is just a manufactured standard that no one truly cares about.
Here's what I'm confused about. They seem to be upset that there's like a drip strategy going on here. But I think one of them has the full logs, because how else was Chud Logic able to get like an
No, so we don't have I don't have the full logs. Someone might. I don't have the full logs because obviously stuff has been deleted and moderated, whereas the person that exported was using better Discord, which retains deleted messages. So if you posted it, people could still play with the gray area.
Unredacted version of something that Dan posted. And it's like, so if one of them has the full logs, why don't they just post the full logs then? Why don't they just do that? Right? Am I overthinking this? The handle with €2. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
because Destiny himself has cared about it or claimed to care about it in the past, even destroyed someone's online career over it, deliberately, actively, actually destroyed someone's career over it. I'm not going around getting into private calls with Destiny's friends, recording them, and then chopping it up and trying to spin a narrative on my stream, am I? That's what Destiny did with Bob 7. That's what Destiny did with Bob 7. So it's all projection. It's all a retroactive vindication. That's what it's all about. And then, so that's the sort of drama context here, guys. But drop that into the broader context.
Okay, here we go. This is where it gets fun.
The broader context. What's actually happening here? And it depends how schizo you want to go with this, really, doesn't it?
And boy, does he go schizo with it.
Okay, well, surely there's got to be a firm rebuttal then. You're in a world where I'm going to go full schizo. I'm going to go full schizo on this.
Okay.
You live in a world where Paramount has merged and owns the Free Press. Barry Weiss has been installed as the editor of the Free Press. The Ellisons own TikTok.
You can see where this is going immediately. You can see where this is going. Dude. It's like kind of, it's like almost like beyond like Zog kind of posting. It's kind of beyond that.
Dude.
Some of you guys are typing it in the chat. It's kind of beyond just like Zog posting. It feels like
Please tell me they're all calling me an anti-Semite.
it's kind of beyond that.
He's taxi driver minus the taxi. Is that supposed to be cutting? Or is that supposed to be awesome? I actually can't tell.
Some of you guys are typing it in the chat. It's kind of beyond just like Zog posting. It feels like a little bit further than that.
And all social media seems to be disproportionately moderating, boosting, you know, content of a certain persuasion.
Guys, is he... I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Somebody else say it. See, I didn't know this about Kuihman. I had no idea. No, I don't mean dumb. I mean like, is he
A Nazi? A Nazi, surely.
a fan of
Nick Fuentes?
mid 20th century European history?
Oh, so
Put
yeah,
it that way.
we just straight up went the Nazi route. Awesome. We straight up went the Nazi route. That's cool, man. That's cool. Who's gonna tell him?
Is that what's going on here? Because
They don't understand the things they say on Twitter.
just like listen to this. Like listen to what he says here. Hang on.
It depends how schizo you want to go with this, really, doesn't it? You're in a world where
Like, mind you, I just need to remind you guys because the context of this is a snarker.
Moody Morgan in chat saying in all caps, he is Jewish. Oh, the Trib One, famous com tribute guy.
Discord channel like logs got leaked. That's the context, and all of a sudden he starts talking about
No, that's it's not the only context, is it, Hutch? I just actually laid out the other context, which is that there's huge streamers with an incentive to shut down, a career incentive and personal incentive to shut down criticism of their position on Israel because it is personally and politically damaging to them. That's the actual context, isn't it? And Destiny's using tactics like doxing and mass reporting to try and do it. And Ethan Klein's using vexatious litigation. And Dan's using the ADL and Richie Torres.
Barry Weiss and Larry Ellison
And the Free Press, literally Barry Weiss and the Ellisons.
and views of a certain persuasion.
Yeah, like Zionists, like Zionists, Hutch, like Zionists, and I think also I'm sort of, I am sort of looping in some more just conservative attitudes here as well. I think is sort of what I was going for too, because those are definitely, I think those are a little bit favored right now with a lot of the big tech companies. Schizo, you want to go with this, really, doesn't it? No, send it to me, Jimbo. You're in a world where I'm going to go full schizo. No, okay, you can't make jokes like that about people we actually hate. You can make jokes like that about Gamma. You can't joke like that about people we hate, okay? Full schizo on this. You live in a world where Paramount has merged and owns the Free Press. Barry Weiss has been installed. Yeah, which Dan wrote for, by the way. The Free Press that Dan published an article in attacking a Muslim Senate candidate. I think Senate, right? Or is he congressional? I'm not sure. El Sayed, anyway, for association with Hassan. Yeah, that Free Press, such. As the editor of the Free Press, the Ellisons own TikTok, and all social media seems to be disproportionately moderating, boosting, content of a certain persuasion.
There's like a few different ways that you could read that, I suppose.
That appears to be what's happening online. It's explicitly stated that the Ellisons wanted to get TikTok because of all the anti-Semitism on there. Last couple of years. And then you see these content creators that are aligned with a certain side, that are willing to use every tactic possible to crush the opposition, and they are benefiting massively from this industrial force, this international industrial force behind them. Yeah, like how when Dan writes for the Free Press or the ADL come in and put pressure on Twitch to ban Hassan or Frogan or Denims and institute a rule against using Zionists as a slur. You know, like that, Hutch?
Why? It's Stardust. Is absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Holy smokish, you wept.
Thank you for the $5, Jimberly. Thank you.
All this over like a leaked Discord. He wasn't lying about going.
No, it's actually about the half a year long doxing, harassment, and smearing campaign run by one of your best buddies, and the vexatious litigation that you've supported, and all the doxing that comes along with it that you've given a pass to, and the false DMCAs against subreddits that you've given a pass to.
No one schizo with him.
To try and I don't want to say it, but it is kind of Israel. It's on.
Where's that clip of Kanye West talking about the psychiatrist that diagnosed him bipolar? And he goes, now I don't want to say what kind of person this was.
I should have done that.
But
fuck, I should have done that, man.
He was,
I don't want to say what type of person is going after my community right now. It's a Jewish streamer.
was a Jew. Who's got that one clip of that? Someone help me find that.
I should have done that. That's a great idea.
It was a Jewish doctor. Probably like the third funniest Kanye West clip.
Online Israel. It's up there. They are perfectly aligned. We agree on that cause, and they benefit massively from the industrial machine that keeps that running. So again, you can't,
CR We Venture, thank you so much for $2 benefiting
Hutch should
by
join the Snark left with content ideas like this.
For real. Thank you for the £5, Weed. Huge
being
appreciate it.
demonetized on YouTube. Odd Human Steve with $5. I just love how goobers like this guy and J-Stock have to cover drama slop and harass people because they don't offer anything entertaining. SMH. The handle, did I get you for €2? Thank you. Did you find it?
Offer
Supposedly?
nothing entertaining yet. Did like 40 minutes of uninterrupted, just me talking about what I think about stuff, and people think it was like the best content I've done in months, basically. Okay, Hutch.
Fun? Are you rickrolling me here?
The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
To try and I don't want to say it, but it is kind of Israel. It's online Israel.
It's so good, man. Come on. The parallels are too good.
They are perfectly aligned. So I've been compared to Travis Bickle and Kanye West so far in this segment on that cause, and they benefit massively from the industrial machine that keeps that running. So again,
Tyler Evett Shimps, thank you so much for $5.
I've just picked Eat Israel out of chat from Stylo.
I'm on a flight and I wake up with a water bottle next to me like, oh great, now I gotta be responsible for this water bottle. From the Ashes with $2. When in doubt, blame the Steins. Same 3,000-year-old strat. Stonefist with 2 months. How Israeli of them.
Again, you can't stoop to their level, but you have to be firm. You can't stoop to their level, but you have to hold a firm line. You cannot allow people to, do this divide and conquer bullshit and try and police associations based on some shit that happened years ago that someone doesn't even do anymore, that you've got no evidence of doing. And it's built into a total lie narrative that is made to vindicate someone on their sex crimes and crush the opposition to their political perspective, right? Because that's what it is. Think about...
Wait, is it about Destiny? Like, is it about Destiny's court case, or is it about...
They have a confluence of personal, political, and financial interests that align with getting rid of this ecosystem. So they will do anything possible to do it, Hutch. That's what's being said.
Or is it both? Because that's kind of convenient if it's both. That's like very efficient. Two birds, one thing. But he's kind of jumping back and forth between like the Steins own the media, but also
Dude, he legit
Destiny's
thinks I'm a
doing this
Nazi.
to
This is
crush
awesome.
people for exposing his sex crimes or something.
About how all this works together, guys. Think about how all this works together. Why did Destiny cozy up to the commentary community all those years ago? Did he do it because the commentary community is a totally inconsequential machine for influencing online opinion? Or did he do it for the opposite reason? Because actually, the ability to reach young men who otherwise feel apolitical, disaffected, or whatever, that's actually a very, very good method of influencing people's opinions.
To be fair, if I recall correctly, Destiny was kind of talking to anybody. Isn't that kind of how he's worked for years?
Right.
Isn't it the case that
Right.
Destiny kind of goes
Right.
into like manning space?
He
It
just
could
does
be
stuff
like
randomly.
a 20 viewer Andy doing a panel or something like that. Like, I felt like he just went everywhere.
And that those people are often very active online and willing to spread the message further. It's probably more likely the latter, isn't it? It's probably more likely the latter. So why is it that suddenly, when that's been torn away, all of a sudden every tactic is on the table to try and crush what has replaced it? It should be pretty obvious to you guys. It's because people were being too effective. All comes after the Kilo video. Nicandros gets targeted because he argued with Dan on Twitter. Leftovers H3 are being targeted because Ethan was being smeared as a Zionist, something that he 100% is.
I think it was more the CPS call.
Holy fuck. I don't expect it anymore, man. Most of them have stopped doing this, so I just don't expect it anymore. Hutch, I don't know how to explain it. The stuff I'm talking about was happening before the CPS call, Hutch. He filed all the false DMCAs and registered his content nuke with the Library of Congress before CPS was called, Hutch.
I gotta be honest with you. I think that's the thing that like lit the fire.
Right. Of course,
under
that makes
Ethan,
sense
which,
somehow.
You know,
Surely.
that kind of makes sense.
Why don't you watch the Kilo video, Baldy?
As soon as you start fucking with somebody's kids and then involve the state, and then you do that to someone as spiteful as
Watch the Kilo video, Baldy.
Ethan is at times, you know, that's a pretty strong incentive to take a big swing back.
It's just so, what if you just open your eyes and look at the big picture, it's so fucking obvious. And I just wish there were a few more people out there, a few more content creators, a few more people, a few more communities that saw it, that kind of saw through it and recognized what's on the line here, what's actually on the line here when you were.
So it's about Ethan being pissed that he was smeared as a Zionist and Destiny covering up his sex crimes, but also Israel. That's above it all. Got its tentacles and everything. And I just wish other people saw it as clearly as I do.
Allow this insane, litigious freak to try and shut down anyone calling him a Zionist.
It's all
While he goes
connected.
on his
Yep.
podcast and bangs
Connect
on
the
about
dots,
how
you fucking
anyone
idiots.
saying Free Palestine in the wake of October 7th is saying they love Hamas and they deserve to have their family shot, killed, and burned in front of them. Recognize what's on the line when you're allowing that to happen. Recognize what's on the line when you don't take a firm stand on that. Recognize how the abandonment of that principle could come back to fuck you very quickly. Could come back around and fuck you very fucking quickly. That principle that you've relied on for your entire career, that you may have made tens of videos defending.
Did he just say tens?
Yeah, like tens of prepared videos, Hutch. Like as in, not like your stream segments, Hutch. Even if it was tens of stream segments, I think that would still stand, to be honest. I don't... Oh, huh? Not really.
Did he just say
Hello,
tens
everyone.
of videos?
Kind of. Not exactly like that, but they are, our government are retarded about it. It's mainly the Palestine action stuff, if you want to look into that. First I came for Hassan. Again, that's a corny quote, but absolutely true. That should have been your warning sign, And we're way deep into it now, Hassan should have been your warning sign.
Repurposing a poem about the Holocaust. Was it a poem? A saying? Repurposing a poem about the Holocaust to apply it to your snarker Discord getting leaked, and then people fucking with you. Flickerless screen with $5. Ethan was already abusing copyright, making legal threats, and planning to sue people about him before CPS. Use your brain. I don't know what you're talking about there.
Totally contradicts his entire theory here. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you even talking about? High level stuff here, Hutch. Really, man. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Really firing all cylinders today, clearly.
Stonefist, did I get you for the tier 1 membership? Thank you, buddy.
Casey Tron Frogan, Danny.
Bad Company with $5. I remember when Kuihman tried to have a conversation with you early on in chat, called him out for the weirdo he is, W community. I don't even want to unpack that whole thing again. I had no idea. People were warning me, and I had no idea just like how unhinged like that this whole community is. I genuinely had no idea.
So crazy. They're so crazy. Cite something, Hutch. Cite something actually bad. The Snark lawsuit. Dude, if you weren't off by that, you're a fucking insane person. Noah Sampson being sued for saying he backed the...
Oh, the banner. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, let me figure that out.
Genocide. Now it is patently obvious what's happening here. Now it is patently obvious what's happening here. The goal is to litigate criticism of Israel in a courtroom because people understand that their position has influence. That Ethan Klein understands that him being labeled as this crazy Zionist not just makes people hate him more, but makes people hate his country more, his wife more, all this stuff. And so he has both personal and political incentives to try and shut that down as hard as fucking possible.
What the fuck? His country more?
Dude, if you weren't off by that, you're a fucking insane person. Noah Sampson being sued for saying he backed the genocide. Now it is patently obvious what's happening here. Now it is patently obvious what's happening here. The goal is to litigate criticism of Israel in a courtroom because people understand that their position has influence. That Ethan Klein understands that him being labeled as this crazy Zionist not just makes people hate him more, but makes people hate his country more, his wife more, all this stuff. And so he has both personal and political incentives to try and shut that down as hard as fucking possible.
I think, I don't know, there's a couple different possibilities here. It's possible that Kuihman is legitimately like Groyper adjacent, and he genuinely believes this unhinged rant that he's doing. It's also possible that all of this is just like manipulation. Maybe he suspects that there are Groyper adjacent people in his audience, and so he's just appealing to them with this like nonsense, knowingly manipulating. I don't really know. It's like one of those two things. It's definitely one of those two things.
But people just don't clock that. People just don't clock that. People want to pretend there's no underlying motive. So there's no broader narrative motive here. It's just shit flinging. It's just shit flinging. No, there is power centralized in a lot of these communities around a lot of these content.
He said he's Jewish? Oh man. Okay. Well, now this
back
is
to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board.
Third layer. Okay. It's possible.
Now actually, you're a self-hating Jew. How could you be against Israel and Jewish? By the way, I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite.
Well, that he fucking hates his parents.
Dude.
I'm gonna throw that in the mix.
Content creators, there is power and influence centralized around them, and they have to maintain that.
To smear such fine young Jewish lad.
Thank you for the donor. Hugely appreciate it. Thanks so much. They have to maintain that. And they will try and pretend like they're not doing it for Israel or for politics or something like that. But that is always in their mind. That is always in their mind, and it comes out in their actions. And it comes out in their actions. It comes out in their target selection. It comes out in their actions. It comes out in the opinions they express. It comes out in what they cover. And it goes all...
His core principles, he just hates destiny, LOL. I think Israel seems to be a big part of his core principles, is what it looks like.
All the way down. I'm not just talking about Destiny, Ethan, whoever here. I'm talking about Nick, I'm talking about Orky. I'm talking about myself. Everyone has an understanding of how this actually works, really, deep down.
Iraqi, this is very low tier stuff, but he's objectively correct here. Ethan has mainstreamed his promotion of Israel and brought it to the forefront of his content, which is antithetical to the tide of anti-Israel sentiment sweeping the vast majority of young people in America. I mean, just explain to me how calling what was happening in Gaza a genocide like by December 2023, maybe even.
So, dude, why can they literally never engage? I've already laid it out to you, Hutch. The days after October 7th, when people were saying free Palestine, Ethan said that was equivalent to saying that you support Hamas. And that if you support Hamas by saying free Palestine, perhaps you should have your family shot, killed, and burned in front of you. Okay, so it's not just that he didn't think it was a genocide, okay, Hutch? And also he claimed that he did think it was a genocide for most of the time, despite all of his other positions contradicting that. He could still be seen as a rabid Zionist.
And before that, like, how does that fit into that? I don't know how to make sense of that. This is the same behavior that we saw when all of that stuff popped off, when Ethan and Hassan had their breakup, because Hassan's community turned on Ethan, like rabidly turned on him. It was the same kind of thing. They were accusing Ethan of being this like ultra rabid Zionist. And Ethan was over here saying that, you know, Palestine deserves to be free, and Netanyahu is like a war criminal, and Israel's doing a genocide, but he believes in a two-state solution. And so to them, that's the equivalent of being an ultra Zionist, and it's just so insane. It's so fucking insane. And the other thing too is like everybody in both chats right now, if you guys were raised with Judaism as a Jewish person, with a Jewish family, you know, like you guys probably would have, what is it called again? The trip that you take to Israel, birthright? You guys probably would have taken a birthright citizenship, or a birthright trip.
Yeah, ignore that Ela called the IDF heroes. Ignore that Ela said that Yoav Gallant was a really great guy. Not just a moderating voice in the war cabinet because he believed that all military objectives were achieved and that it would just hurt Israel more to keep going. But a really great guy. But guys, she said sorry, even though the word sorry or apology never left her lips in that entire fucking video.
You probably would have had a positive view of Israel growing up. You know, is it called Aliyah? Is that what it's called? And what happened with Ethan is like you would think that most people would think that that would be like kind of best case scenario. You know, like Seth Rogen talked about his experience being raised Jewish and being taught that you know, never being taught about like what the Arab population calls like the Nakba. You know, like never being taught about their perspective. You know, and then you get older and you discover some things and you condemn this and you condemn that. That's like, you know, pretty good trajectory if you're someone who like really deeply cares about this issue. But it's not enough because Ethan stopped short of, you know, one state solution.
It's just so delusional, man. It's just not what happened. Hutch, watch the Kilo video. Rebut the Kilo video, then we'll take you seriously on literally any of this, retard. It's just not what happened. You just don't know what happened. You either don't know or you're lying, possibly due to learned behaviors from being an addict.
And so he's just, from that point on, he was like an ultra Zionist. It's so fucking insane.
People will try and pretend, like Chud, will try and pretend to absolve himself of any responsibility, that there is no influence from any YouTube video ever, that watching a Turkey Tom video on...
Why are you speaking in such generalities here? That's complete BS. Jews are not a people who don't argue with each other. The argument that no Jew as a kid heard the Arab side of the argument is just false. You can't imagine being raised Jewish and not being taught about the
That's not what was said. That's just not what was said.
Palestinian perspective. You can't even imagine that? Really? Are you fucking with me? You genuinely can't imagine that?
No, you presented that as either the default or monolithic experience. That person is challenging that, saying it's not necessarily true.
I am Jewish, Hutch. It's just BS. So your experience as a Jewish person is like the universal experience? Every kid is indoctrinated in some kind of way growing up. This is not something that's limited to one religion or another religion, etc., etc. Hutch, make no mistake. This guy doesn't give a fuck about Israel. This is nothing but an appeal to that crowd to help him. He's nothing but a snarker. He's not a political person. Well, I knew that about Kuihman. I don't think he's motivated by politics, like, at all. Hutch, you are being stun locked. Okay, yeah, you're probably...
Of course, I just sort of say shit. True. I just sort of say shit on, you know, the Charlie Kirk shooting, where he says, Charlie Kirk was a little bit controversial. Yeah, I don't nuke my streams for like 2 hours a day doing Britpol. I don't have an entire side channel where I do nothing but politics. I just don't care, actually. I just literally don't give a fuck, actually. Anyway, there's a trans cult spreading widely across... It's just a bit. It's a bit. It's actually an extended bit. It's like quite a Stuart Lee-esque bit where I deliberately do things repeatedly that frustrate the audience because as you do it more and more, it starts to gain a humor. And you're able to loop it around thematically and produce laughs. So it's just like a bit. It's just like an extended bit. The internet, like that Crimes New Romans guy said, people want to pretend there's no influence that it has because they want to both absolve themselves of any responsibility so that they can sleep easy at night when they know they're betraying their principles, and also so that people are unable to latch on to something they say and make a criticism of them that bites. Because if you say that I have no influence, I have no effect. You're able to take the wind out of a lot of criticisms. But that's...
CR, we venture with $5. Why don't you try steel manning him? Says the same people who have never steel manned a single thing from their enemy. Is good one, buddy. I didn't see that. Flickr list screen with $5. November 2024. False DMCA takedowns of Reddit posts.
7-hour PMQ stream with Hassan Destiny drama title would be Kino. I feel like I've basically done that before.
Legal threats against Reddit. January 2025. Copyright plan to sue pro Pally creators. March 2025 CPS. Well, hold on. The Reddit post, I don't remember what that was about. But it obviously escalated. I don't know why you're fighting me on this one. It obviously escalated dramatically after the CPS stuff. But the CPS stuff was like that was not like the first shot across the bow. Like it had been intense harassment
right
the previous year.
Of course.
It took, how long did it take?
What case of harassment did they have before the CPS coup? Name one.
Hassan's audience to flip on Ethan? It was very shortly after October 7th. Very shortly.
What did he say very shortly after October 7th? Oh yeah, that's right. Saying free Palestine is equivalent to saying that you love Hamas and you should have your family shot.
Because Ethan was saying, you know, holy fuck, some of the commentary I'm seeing from people is crazy. There were people that were glorifying the violence on October 7th.
So what does Ethan see as glorifying the violence? We're just going to pull up the Kilo video. I'm just going to play the clip just to make the point once. Because it really is crazy, the rewriting of history these fucking Zogbots try and do for Ethan.
Creators.
Total fucking golem.
How multicultural, how...
Free Palestine too closely to October 7th.
When you come out and say free Palestine after they just lost everybody, that's not what you should be saying right now.
And I'm free Palestine too, right? It's just the timing. I know what it is. You're saying I support Hamas. I mean, that's what you're saying. I'm just saying don't cheer for terrorists. I don't think that that's a crazy take. If you think it is, then let's go invite the Iraqi terrorists who are exacting revenge to come to your city block and kill every fucking one you love. If you think Hamas is dope, just remember, you deserve to be burned alive by terrorists and your whole family murdered in front of you.
There were people that were pushing all kinds of insane conspiracy theories, accusing the Israeli government of invoking like the Hannibal Directive. And like there were people at the time, I spoke with one of them on my stream. He jumped in my Discord and we talked about it.
Well, if there's some crazy lefties online, then it makes total sense why Ethan completely cowed out and broke all his principles.
This was like the fringe, like really deeply online people that were saying that it was like an IDF Apache helicopter that killed all those people at the rave. Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. There was some unhinged shit that like commentary takes that occurred like right after October 7th. And some of it was popping up in like Hassan's community, his Discord in particular, that had to get nuked as I understand it because there was some...
Thank you for the $5. Thank you.
Crazy rhetoric that was going on. ZJM, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate that. So like the CPS thing, that was not like the beginning. That was not what started this whole thing. You don't remember somebody made...
According to Haaretz journalist Josh Briner, a police source said that a police investigation indicated an IDF helicopter, which had fired on Hamas militants, apparently also hit some festival participants. The statement by Israeli police said their investigation focused on police activity and not IDF activity, and the statements in the Haaretz article had been used out of context on social media to blame Israel for civilian deaths. none of which had any basis in fact. In September 2024, Australia's ABC News followed up on Yaniv Kubovich July 7th article in Haaretz that the Hannibal Directive was apparently applied with panicked air crews firing on vehicles containing hostages. ABC News asked the IDF about the issue, and the IDF did not answer ABC's questions, saying that questions of this kind will be looked into at a later stage. In the aftermath of the attack, a widely disseminated video purported to show leaked footage of an IDF helicopter shooting at civilians during the Rayam Festival. However, according to France 24, the footage was actually part of a compilation showing Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip October 9th. So, disputed. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's actually reported by Haaretz, but it's disputed.
Made an animated cartoon of Ela murdering Palestinian kids. It was fucking insane. Like, it was actually fucking insane. It was so foul. And people spun her story of like going on a ride along in, I don't even remember what the city was, Ramallah. They were calling her the Butcher of Ramallah.
Raider of Ramallah.
Because she was like a bored fucking 18-year-old that went on a ride along.
Wow. So who cares then?
Which she was clearly disturbed by.
Not
just
true.
People came up with all these insane narratives
False.
about Ela. It was
obviously
like such
false. Just go watch
intense
a clip. Just go watch a clip. It's just obviously false.
harassment. That would have driven me insane. Like I might have wanted to.
That's all it takes.
Fight back if I had been subjected to that. I'm like 1/100th the size of Ethan, and if I imagine the level of fucking harassment.
Why have they linked their careers to Israel? They took a firm stand super early on and can't walk back off of it. They thought, I think the calculation was basically that they thought Israel was just going to steamroll everything and get out, and so they'd never have to reconcile with the fact that a lot of people don't want Dems to be Zionists, and they could just push through without getting criticism or introspection on that.
That he was getting at the time, I might want to do some drastic measures. Wouldn't you? It's all very pretty intense. Pretty fucking intense. Dude, the post-October 7th online climate was just so fucking intense, man. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Give me just a minute. I'll be right back, okay? Love you guys. I'll be right back.
Not a matter of like, necessarily, I don't think I'm fighting as a member of the resistance or any kind of shit like that, but it's just, for lack of other vent valves, fucking with someone that's accessible, that has an audience that you think is politically harmful.
There's another vent valve
that you mark on these sons of bitches. And
there was just someone claiming Ethan is going after pro-Palestine creators is already bad faith. Ethan is pro-Palestinian. He just doesn't think Israelis would let the country be dissolved.
Right, of course.
Thank you for the $10. All elite memes with the tier 1 membership for 7 months. They frame Ethan as ontologically evil to justify it 100,000%. Tim the Blair with the tier 1. I see bald faith so often in my chat that my brain turned it into that. Tim the Blair, thank you so much for the tier 1 membership. Appreciate that. Super duper scooper with $10. Not saying it's impossible for a Jewish kid to be sheltered from Arab argument, but it's a minority. American Jews overwhelmingly are Dems. Israeli Jews are overwhelmingly exposed to Arab argument. Well, listen, I wasn't trying to say that it's like an absolutist thing. Like no Jewish person has ever taught about any part of like the Arab perspective. That's certainly not what I was saying. But if you're raised Jewish, then there's a very decent chance, just like if you're raised Catholic or if you're raised Buddhist, there's a very decent chance that you're going to have a very like one-sided perspective of things as a child. And then you get older and you learn different perspectives, and that's just like a normal part of growing up. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to fucking, I feel like we're going down a road here. We're like relitigating like the post October 7th climate, and I definitely do not want to. I'd rather not do that.
Because you're wrong about it.
Months.
Because you're wrong about this shit.
Months. Fucking arguing about this and that and this and that and this and that.
It's not true. That's a lie. Dude, he legit spends like 4 hours watching Hassan in the stream, bro. People do have influence. And it's obvious they do. You will hear Diorio viewers say things like, dude, nothing has made me hate the pro-Pally cause more than seeing Nick cover Casey Tron Denims and Frogan. They say that. They say that. You can find Reddit comments saying that. You can find YouTube video comments saying that. Because that is the purpose of the content. Whether Nick wants to consciously accept it or not, That is the purpose of the content. It is to absolve Ethan, and by extension, absolve Israel. And that's why there's so many interesting...
Oh my god, you guys. God damn it. It's so fucking demented.
parties. Then why are you not challenging it? Why are you not challenging it? Hutch, don't you think, if I'm saying such insane stuff, don't you think this is pretty bad pushback? Should you be, is this responsible platforming for my Nazi ideas, Hutch? For my Hitler speech? Why the ADL latches onto his campaigns. That's why Dan works with the ADL. That is how it functions. So there really is quite a lot when you're, you know, when you are posting like hell, there really is quite a lot against you, okay? You are actually going up against quite a...
Israel. In
No,
his
that's
mind,
not
he's
what's being
going
said.
up against like Israel and
No.
the Israel lobby.
No, you're going up against Dan Destiny, Ethan, sometimes Diorio, but they play into the Israel lobby and benefit from it, and that strengthens them. That's because Dan is writing for the Free Press, and then talks to the ADL and Richie Torres and other congressmen and senators, lobbyists, and they use that. International PSYOP machine.
I had no idea. I knew he was like a little bit unhinged.
Is it? You wouldn't describe the ADL as and the Israel lobby as an international PSYOP machine. What else is it, Hutch?
I didn't know it was like this. I've never seen any clips of him talking like this. So we see this as anti-Semitic, right? Those are like...
Dude. So no rebuttal, just you're unhinged, you're anti-Semitic, you're a Nazi, you love Hitler, but not a single counterpoint.
I don't know how you could avoid those vibes. I don't know how you could avoid like the just blatantly anti-Semitic vibes. From
It's
this whole
beyond
rant that
parody,
he's
man.
doing here.
I'm so glad this retard's
It's
doing
like
this.
so Zog-brained, but
I'm Zog-brained.
a little bit like more advanced than just like, because Zog is a little more kind of I guess like subtle. Like the Zog stuff is a little bit more subtle than just like going full Kanye, for example. But
This is full Kanye. This is DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
it's like very just, it feels like very explicitly anti-Semitic.
And Stale, you know, I spoke to Stale the other day. Stale's got some crazy claims he makes about this stuff. This was said in the public VC, so I'll just share it now. Stale literally claims, this is what Stale claims. Stale claims, no joke, that FBI agents or government agents contacted him through family members to inquire why he was deleting so many negative posts about Casey Tron and Denims. Now, I don't know that I believe that. I don't know that I believe that.
Why the fuck would you mention it then?
I wouldn't go the full way. I would need to see a bit more. I would need to see way more. You know? I would never... I explain that in a moment, Hutch, and it's because as much as I don't believe the explicit claim, it's within the realm of possibility because I see how it's being used. Stake anything on that. I would literally never stake anything on that. Don't get too excited by that because
Ooh, there's a new Lanterns teaser. I'm excited about that show.
Oh yeah, I'm Zog-brained though, guys. I'm the Zog-brained one. Right. I would literally never stake anything on that. Ever. Ever. You know? That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. However, the point that's being made there...
Yeah, he's just asking questions, yes.
...in that story is true. The point is true.
Bro, they actually think I'm throwing up Romans, dog. They actually think I'm throwing up Romans.
Buddy shop with $10. The truth of the matter is the
Holy
snarker people
fuck.
are losing their minds because what they have been doing is coming out. According to Destiny, more will come. Can't hide
Lightning
in
bolt,
secret
lightning
discords
bolt.
anymore. Again, I don't have it. Just to be clear, I don't have any advanced knowledge about what is going to happen. So just to clear that up, but these logs are out there. If I got my hands on them, I'm like a what? I'm like a small to mid-size streamer.
The fact that everyone has this just shows how little there is in there, man.
I'm on the spectrum between small and mid-sized streamer. And if I got my hands on them, I assume like the full logs at some point are gonna go up on the internet. And what it reveals is just a level of just like obsession and kind of like, it's just a really kind of like pathetic obsession and, you know, routine.
But it doesn't reveal like doxing or IRL harassment, swatting, any of those claims that Destiny's made about us for like the last year. Okay.
Coordinated brigading harassment campaigns and, like boosting each other's posts online and giving each other, I didn't even tell
Problem?
you. I didn't,
This is what I mean, by the way. Literally, it's just about poisoning the effective strategy. It's just about crying that other people are like playing the game, basically.
even find this until like a couple days ago, but like they were gassing up Vadim and Ogre Boy going into the debate on Live and Learn. Like they were treating Ogre Boy like he was like their champion. Like it was like, and then that just went so bad for them, in my opinion. Like that was one of the most embarrassing debates.
Well, anyone that was betting on Vadim, yeah, I love Vadim, but yeah,
like the whole thing was so stupid. Like, Vadim would lose composure and just start screaming and yelling, and then when I would press him, he would be like, I'm gonna let Ogre Boy jump in here. It was so embarrassing, the whole thing. And just to be fair, I just want to be fair here. Actually, you know what? I want to clear a couple things up, okay? Vadim was not at all active in the Discord. I just want to say that. Just to be fair to Vadim. Like, I think he spoke up like one time. And he wasn't like using slurs or participating in like targeted brigading or anything like that.
But Hutch, if there's 10 Nazis at a table and you sit down at
Ogre Boy, on the other hand, very active.
Ogre Boy.
Very, like, singularly obsessed with me. Which is not at all surprising. And I also want to clear up, Pisco was not in this Discord. There's no evidence that I could find of any kind of like coordinating with Pisco. I see a lot, like,
that's true.
A lot of people have strong opinions about Pisco.
Standing up for his friend for once, that's crazy.
That's fine. But I'm seeing like comments on like some of my videos that I'm posting. People are tagging me in tweets. They're like, someone's got to press Pisco on this. Someone's got to confront Pisco on this. Pisco there's no evidence that Pisco...
Well, why are people saying that, Hutch? Why are people saying that, Hutch? Is it because Destiny's deliberately attempted to loop him into this whole narrative since the moment he started breaking away?
I had anything to do with this. So just chill on that stuff. I don't know why people need to jump to these kinds of conclusions.
Where are those conclusions
Also,
coming from, Hutch?
We do have a friends of the stream policy in both chats. I feel like I need to remind people. Maybe I need to add some more like mods on YouTube. We're a little bit better about policing it on Twitch. It's a slower chat. There's more mods. What mods are in the YouTube? Jay, do you have any more nominations for mods in YouTube? It's fine if you like. It's fine if you really attack Pisco's arguments. Some light kind of teasing is fine. Like I'm not gonna get pissed if I see people kind of making fun of me in his chat. With the stuff in his chat that was like bothering me was people were saying like the most unhinged things, and it had to do with like Israel. People were accusing me of being like a genocide supporter and shit like that. I don't care if people like tease me in his chat or whatever. That's fine. But people need to chill the fuck out a little bit. Because there's no evidence that I'm aware of. There's no evidence that Pisco was in any way involved with the Discord. Dane D with 133 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness.
There is massive interest from these huge, powerful bodies across the world in how these issues are presented on the internet.
My dude. And I'm not throwing shade, okay? Because it's not like my collective audience is like enormously bigger than his, But my dude, do you really think that the like secret Israel lobby...
Well, that's actually exactly what I said, isn't it? You guys hear that come out of my mouth where I said the Israeli lobbyist targeting me specifically? I heard that just now in that clip.
Secret cabal, secret Israel cabal, the secret international Israel lobby cabal. Do you really think they're coming down on you right now, Kuihman?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Fucking commentary.
That's what I said, bro. That's what I said.
Do you have such an inflated sense of self and importance that you think that they would spend fucking resources on you and your fucking snarker buddies?
How does he argue against the ADL being an influential psyop? He doesn't. He just goes, "You're an anti-Semite," and moves on. Calls you an anti-Semite and looks at you like this. Pulls a face like this. Hutch doesn't even try to argue anymore. He just calls you a Nazi and looks at you like this.
Do you really think that?
There is a huge incentive for, say, the ADL to run a PSYOP campaign on Reddit, to run a PSYOP campaign on Twitter.
if it's a PSYOP campaign, then what does it have to do with like Ethan Klein and Destiny covering up his sex crimes?
Well, Hutch, I understand you've got like severe brain damage from years of substance abuse. However, if you listened just a moment ago, Hutch, you would have heard that I was identifying the fact that much of this slop content, like the massive attention on Hassan, Casey, Tron, Denims, and Frogan, actually does influence people's positions on Israel.
Is it just like a convenient overlap? Was the overlap intentional? It's like
I don't even know what he's trying to say there.
International PSYOP. They've got sleeper agents in the Reddit running counterintelligence on the snarker
I
community.
mean, they almost definitely do pay people to post on Reddit. Yeah.
But also it's about like Destiny. You know, it's like all elite memes with $5. It took years for people to even acknowledge cyberbullying is real. Now kids use AI for it too. I think government regulation of snark is possible. Well, we already have laws against like online harassment, don't we? Or do we? I don't even know. Arden Pitt with $2. He didn't speak up much because he was too sleepy. Man, that Vadim Ogre Boy Live and Learn episode was one of the most, that was the most shameful episode we've ever done. I needed to take a fucking shower after that episode. Nobody Chef for $10. The truth of the matter is the snarker people are losing their minds because what they, oh, I think I already read that. Thank you, buddy.
Is the reason, I believe even explicitly, that the Ellisons bought TikTok.
Did I get Facebook to you guys? Here's a complete non sequitur. So I'm scrolling through YouTube and Twitter, and I see a video of, it looked like an indigenous person in Africa scrubbing their teeth with
bugs,
some kind of root or something like that. And then the person, they smiled and their teeth were hella fucking white. I don't know. Did I get psyoped? It's this thing called like Mizla. Apparently, like the Prophet
Like
Muhammad
Shrek.
wrote about how you need to clean your teeth with this like particular root, like 5 times a day or something like that. Miska, is that what it's called? Miswak. Fucking bought it, bro. Bought it. The WHO recognizes this as being like just as effective as toothbrushes. And for someone who's kind of ADD, kind of appeals to me. Because you're just supposed to like use it. You just like scrub your teeth with it. It's a little hard to get the backside of your teeth. And you can just, and then you scrub your tongue.
Okay.
And it helps with bad breath. There's like chemical compounds in the root itself that like helps with bad breath. It's like better at whitening your teeth.
Thank you for the raid, Malcolm. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Okay, I don't care.
I'm seeing a bunch of dudes with mustaches, but I don't see Hassan. Face. Rate Mizwak. $10. This is what I love about Hutch, LMAO. Apparently this Mizwak is what you call it, is like very good at cleaning your teeth.
It's because of the anti-Semitism on there.
Any personal favorite of yours for the Dem presidential primary?
We'll be investing in
I don't
teeth
care.
scraping
I'm just gonna say
sticks.
it. I don't care. I like Kamala. I don't give a fuck. I'll say it. I'll say it loud and proud.
I want to lose
I like
again.
the idea of a comeback story.
I want to lose again. I'm desperate to lose
Kamala's
again.
revenge. And I do like her. Like, I genuinely like Kamala as a politician.
I fucking love losing. I want to lose. Fuck Platner. Fuck Namdani.
And I
I
respect
want to lose.
her. Like, she's scrappy. She's fucking scrappy. She's a fighter. And you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to seeing how she's gonna run her campaign when she has like a full campaign to run, like on her terms. You know, I'm not saying I think she has the best chance of winning. I think right now we're in a massive anti-establishment wave, like more so than 2016, I would say.
Yeah, if you're gonna do this shit where you're like crying about the populists, the least you could fucking do. Yo, Master Goyri with the 20 gifted. Insanely generous of you, Master Goyri. Hugely appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hugely generous of you. Thank you. Yeah, if you're gonna do this whole thing where you're like crying about the populists and saying that you want the centrist candidate, at least like talk about the policy. That's like the one place where oftentimes a more centrist establishment candidate will have a bit of a edge over the populists because they usually have a bit more of a defined, researched policy platform, whereas populists will often go for more outlandish, outsider ideas that try and shake the system. the least you can do if you're going to make a point like this is focus on policy differences and focus on the policies you like versus the other potential candidates. He doesn't even do that. He's just like, I like Kamala. I like Kamala. Just like, okay, well, that's fucking worthless, isn't it, bro? Because no one else does.
And so that is going to be something that might be difficult for her to overcome, because what's more establishment than, you know, being the vice president? But I think it's possible. Like, I think that she's scrappy enough to earn the respect of like Democratic Party primary voters. But apart from her, I don't know. I'm not very picky, man. I like the whole bench. I'd be okay with like pretty much everyone on the bench. Like, well, I'll tell you, like I don't party primary voters. But earn the respect of like Democratic Party primary voters. But apart from her, I don't know. I'm not very picky, man. I like the whole bench. I'd be okay with like pretty much everyone on the bench. Like, well, I'll tell you, like it pains me to say as a native Californian, but my least favorite, and I really hope he doesn't win, is Newsom. Not because I don't like how scrappy he's been, not because I don't like him as a governor, but I just think he's going to have a tough time in a national race. I think there's a lot of baggage for someone like him, viewed as he's kind of just like the personification.
Fuck, was I muted? Was I muted? Fuck's sake. I'm retarded. How long was I muted for there? I'm fucking retarded. A couple minutes. Like 1 min. Oh, so it was just the last pause. All I said was Dickers basically stomped Hutch in a chorus debate on Wix like 8 months ago. Some shit like that. And so I think that's part of why Hutch has gone after Dickers in such a bizarre way. And I think he even like sort of shit tested Dickers afterwards to see if he was evil, if he was being bad faith. Did my thanking of the gifter come through? Was I muted for that? Surely not, right? Because huge appreciation to Master Goya Eater for the 20 gifted, which is insanely generous. It came through. Okay, good. So I wasn't muted for that long. All right, sweet.
Of the liberal elite kind of caricature that people have, and I just don't know how much appeal he has in states like fucking Michigan and Pennsylvania. I'm just concerned about that. But pretty much everybody else, I'm good. Yeah, if it's Kelly, I'm good with that. I think Kelly's probably like on paper the strongest candidate. You know, this former astronaut, husband of a congressperson who was shot in the fucking face and survived, has shown some real grit against Donald Trump, was targeted by the Trump administration. He checks off a lot of bald. He would be our first like fully bald king, I think, ever. Eisenhower was pretty bald, but I mean, he's like bald. Did Eisenhower shave his head? I don't think he did. Ossoff is like a cheat code. That guy's like a fucking cheat code. He's a really good speaker. He is seems like decently popular in Georgia, which is kind of a big deal. He seems like he's going to somewhat easily win his re-election campaign, which that's a huge strength in a state like Georgia. Warnock he seems like interested in running. I'd be good with him. He's a good speaker too. Pritzker, I'd be happy with him. Yeah, AOC, I'd be happy with.
Politics stream with absolutely zero policy, just rambling about the personalities. Very cool, Hutch. Very cool.
Her. I wouldn't even count AOC out. I think it's definitely possible that the conditions could create.
Why do you have a muted moment almost every stream? Because I roll cigarettes close to my mic and I don't want the sound of paper rustling coming through on my microphone, so I mute frequently. That's why. And I forget I've muted.
A path for her in 2028. Definitely wouldn't count her out. There's not too many people that I don't like. Like Newsom is the only one that I just wouldn't want. Like Newsom's the only one where I'm like, it shouldn't be him. And then everybody else, I'm good. And I don't think we have to be picky. Like I don't
take election advice from the mentally challenged drug addict that shoves sticks in his mouth.
Thank you.
I think we need to worry as much about electability in 2028 because things are so bad for this Republican Party that I don't think it fucking matters. Like honestly, I think Newsom would probably win. I think Newsom would probably beat Vance, but it's so bad for Republicans right now that fucking take your pick. I think every one of them smokes Vance if the election was tomorrow. Who are the other people on the like Shapiro? I don't know. Shapiro is like on paper really good, but he's almost like too slick. You know what I mean? But he's a very popular governor in Pennsylvania. So on paper, that's a big strength. But all elite memes with $2. If Michelle Obama changes her mind, she has a shot. She does not want to be president. She has not been shy about that. She does not want to be president. I think she would easily win if she ran, but she does not want to be president.
Because
that's quite a jarring juxtaposition to go from that conversation to this one. But I think Kamala, I think she made a mistake by prioritizing Biden's legacy. I also can appreciate the fact that there probably was always going to be limitations on how much she could deviate from Biden, especially on Gaza, when the current administration that she serves under is actively negotiating with Israel and like proxies and Qatar for like a ceasefire. If she's out there campaigning and criticizing Biden over Gaza and criticizing Netanyahu, then that could fuck those negotiations up. So like that's just she was in kind of like an impossible situation, to be fair to her. I think she ran a good campaign, definitely not a great campaign, and she made some errors that I just don't know if they would have made a difference. But I like the idea of her running another time and then running a second time and well, I guess this would be a third time, but like on her terms, just fully unleashed. And she's out here, guys, like talking about major reforms. Kamala is out here talking about major structural reforms. Where's that clip of Kamala? She's talking about packing the court, like she's out here like fucking fired up, man. She's talking about doing big stuff here.
Say, look, this is a moment where there are no bad ideas. A no bad idea brainstorm is what I'd like to call it. And in that no bad ideas brainstorm, we talk about what we need to do and think about doing around the Electoral College.
She's talking about maybe getting rid of the fucking Electoral College, man.
We talk about the idea of Supreme.
Does he move on here? No, he goes back. Okay.
Almost elated when she lost. People who are ostensibly opposed to Trump, were like elated when she lost. In a way, like nothing would make me happier than to see her to see her on a kind of redemption arc, on a vindication arc. And to be clear, she specifically warned against like 20 things. She specifically warned. She said, if Donald Trump wins, he's going to do this and this and this and this and this and this. And she was right about fucking literally everything. Fucking everything. Everything. Like she called like war with Iran, wrecking the economy, like irresponsible tariffs, backing off of our commitments in Taiwan, unconstrained Netanyahu, like fucking 20 things. And she called it like,
wait, what's this? I've been alerted to a huge Triton W here, guys. One moment.
Yeah, so I understand the reasons. However, what I do not understand is Chud deciding to ban people who simply point out this discrepancy. Enter the prophet himself, surname Triton.
That's Lord Triton to you, bitch.
Okay? Why was I removed from your server? I just asked a simple question about Keem and the double standard whooshamoo. Chud Logic says, because you are a fucking F-slur bothering me. Keemstar wasn't even in my server. Fucking moron. Get raped. Can't take criticism? It seems like you got raped. Because you can't take a simple disagreement. Make a video about it that no one will watch. I just gave criticism. And then here's the one that particularly stings. Oh, the Nikki D reference. Oh, the Nikki D reference. Oh, you're acting like Nicholas Diorio right now. Blocking people for criticism. Banning people for criticism. Oh, Chud, we've fallen so far. This is a dark path I thought you'd swim.
Yeah, waste of my time. Fuck off. And he keeps going down it with Triton and DMs, bro. You're wasting my fucking time. Make a video and I'm gonna keep replying.
Thought off long ago. You asked mad? Dude, the fact that Triton is having this entire conversation with like a royal vizier fucking PFP with a smug shit-eating grin. It's so fucking retarded.
Unk is
We get
and floundering.
Thank you for the $4.99.
A victory. Akim comes home. Okay?
Is he in
He's
public,
been
sorry?
restored to his former glory, and he says Chud Logic has unbanned me and admitted wrongdoing. Officer Nasty says link, and then Triton leaks the DMs. Wait, no. Wait, what did he link to it before? What did...
He's linking the fucking Revenge of the Sith. Fucking, you were my brother shit.
He linked to it before. Dude, is that the fucking you were the chosen one? You're meant to destroy the Sith, not join them. Okay, nice.
Hey man, I was annoyed. The raped male returns. Hey man, I was annoyed earlier because you added me with some sort of hypocrisy hunting when I was in the middle of something. It's excessive to ban you though. You're welcome to rejoin.
Chud says, hey man, I was annoyed earlier because you added me with some sort of hypocrisy hunting when I was in the middle of something. It was excessive to ban you though. You are welcome to rejoin. No more brother wars. Let's go. No more brother wars. Let's go.
Chud Logic has unbanned me and admitted wrongdoing.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
W Triton, man. Honestly, W Triton.
Darth Savage, thank you so much for $5. If people believe a lie, that's a huge hurdle to get to cross their vote. Average person isn't going to Google it. Kamala's great, but many dislike her. I just listen. I would not count her out. I mean, I think that's bold. I would not count her out. She can overcome a lot. And honestly, like, things are so bad for Donald Trump and the Republican Party that it changes a lot of the calculation. I think it makes the Democrats' job so much easier to come across as sympathetic, assertive, strong, and people like a good comeback story. This is America, like Rocky and whatnot, etc., etc. Abracadabra, did I get you for? Yeah, I think I did. Jay with $5. I nominate all elite memes for mod. I'll shout out others as I see them in chat. You just got to read chat today. I'm reading chat. All elite memes.
Some of this is just straight up insufferable.
That I feels are like to be.
Okay, fuck this. We're done with that. Fuck it, man. Actually, I guess let's try and see the last bit. He starts switching between me and Hassan.
Testing the Zog posting for a little bit, and then I want to cover Hassan purity testing the absolute shit.
There is massive interest from these huge, powerful bodies across the world in how these issues are presented on the internet. There is a huge incentive for, say, the ADL.
Did you vote in that election for mayor?
He's actually not going to engage with any of it, is he? Okay, I'm just going to move on. Fuck
Hutch?
it, I don't know.